Good evening and welcome to Joel the Nose. This is Joel, as usual, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to be doing a review from the house of Parfums de Marly, French niche house. And I'm going to be reviewing what would be classified as a mix between an oriental and a fougere. So this is kind of like an oriental with a fougere, which is kind of sweet at the top with more smoky or woody as it moves along. And the perfume I'm reviewing today is called Pegasus, which actually came out in 2011. So it's been around for a little while, it's been reviewed, but I wanted to do a review of this because I wore it for the entire day today. Right now it's about 8 o'clock. And I put this on this morning from a little decant I got at my local perfumery, Osme Perfumery here in Miami. And I sprayed it basically on both wrists, on my back of my left wrist, and then my clavicles, inside my clavicles, not my neck, but my clavicles. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a full review today because I'm going to spray a little bit now on my right wrist, which I left untouched earlier. So I'll give it a little spray. Okay. A little thing here, a little wave. And right off the bat, you get that kind of sweet fougere bergamot smell, which in the top notes that they list are actually bergamot, heliotrope, and cumin. I'll be honest with you, cumin to me is, it's not something I would pick out. Heliotrope, if you look it up, is actually a flowery plant that has a powdery feel. And for me, this fragrance, that heliotrope really is strong here. It gives you a very powdery, even from this initial, I'm getting that mix, really for me, a bergamot and that heliotrope. It's nice, it's bright, it stands out, it's fresh, and it gives you a nice punch. And what I will say is, and I took extensive notes throughout the day, it then, after it goes through the base, it moves into the mid notes, which are going to be jasmine, bitter almond, and lavender. Now, that heliotrope stays, and I would say actually kind of melds into the base, and it really punches for a few hours where you get that kind of fresh powdery smell. Some people may not like it. I've heard some people describe it as metallic-y. I don't think it's metallic-y at all. Interestingly, when it comes to olfactory senses, a lot of what we describe is completely conditioned on what words we learned or we first heard. So the descriptions may be good for you, they're probably not good for everybody. So always take that with a grain of salt when you read one of our reviews, because this is what it smells like to me. But I will say, having said that, it's not metallic to me. It actually is kind of, I don't want to say baby powderish, but almost kind of like a talcum powderish, but in a good way. I will say that, because it's very fresh, and if you like that kind of fresh, clean scent, that's what to me, this heliotrope is coming through. But then also in the mid notes, you really start to kick in the vanilla and the almond. Now, I hate nuts. I hate almonds. But when it comes to scents, I gotta say, this is beautiful, because after about maybe 2-3 hours, the base notes really come through. So I'm just smelling again. And those base notes, which are amber, vanilla, and sandalwood, and that's how you kind of get this fougere bringing in the sweetness from the top. That vanilla really comes through. I can tell you this, the base for me is exceptional. It's the best part of this fragrance. I have a lot of problems with fragrances where they smell great at the beginning, and that's because the perfume industry today, the department store model, everything is about spraying quickly when someone's walking by, getting them to smell that fresh, punch, clean top note that is gone. And so people buy it, and then the dry down for me in a lot of even niche perfumes, which some have adopted this perfume department store model, they don't work for me. When they dry down, it gets very bland, it just doesn't get pleasant. I can say this Pegasus was brilliant for me in the dry down. That amber and that vanilla mixed with the sandalwood, and it just comes across as this creamy, warm vanilla. Slightly sweet, but not too sweet. Still retains that kind of masculine quality. It is a unisex. It could go feminine. I think this would smell great on women too, but this for me is a little bit more masculine. And I will say again, that vanilla mixes very well with my skin. I think fragrances that have that warm tone I really enjoy, especially maybe it's because I'm from the warm weather in Miami, and we're in September, mid-September, and it's still 90 degrees here. And let me say this, I put this fragrance on at 8 this morning, it's 8 o'clock now. I still, on my left wrist this morning, I still have the dry down. It's not obviously extensive now, but it's 12 hours later. But here in my clavicle area, where I put it, because I didn't sweat as much there, wasn't exposed to the heat, and I was walking around all today in the Miami heat, that is still giving me a very strong, not overpowering, but it's actually still got a lot of staying power there. There's a lot, so we're talking 12 hours. It's phenomenal. I got to say, I'm really impressed. So basically, in a nutshell, let me kind of sum this up. I give very high marks. Out of 5 noses, I would give this a 5 out of 5. I think this is an excellent fragrance. This is something that I will most likely be purchasing a full bottle. Right now I just have the decant. I'm going to wear it a few more times. But again, you want something that is a cross between an oriental and a fougere. It gives you that bergamot, it gives you the woodsy, it gives you the powdery heliotrope, it gives you the vanilla, the amber, and the dry down, which is one of the best dry downs that I have smelled in a long time, for that kind of creamy vanilla warm feel, wearing all day long in 90-degree humid heat here in Miami. So wherever you are, it's probably going to last you very well. And the projection, again, was very good. The sillage was very good for at least 4 or 5 hours. So I highly recommend this. And I would say go out, don't blind buy anything, test it. You know, I've said this before, your body chemistry, your own psychology that you bring to a smell based on, your prior experience with smells and the such is going to color any opinion. Don't trust my opinion. Take what I've said today as a general overview so that you know going into it what to expect or what to look for, maybe for yourself to see the differences. If you've already smelled this or you have questions, I would love some comments below. Please let me know how you feel about this. Please also subscribe. Click on the little bell to be notified of my updates. And I want to thank you again for visiting Joel the Nose. I'm Joel, and have a great day, everybody. Thank you.